it was a whole, yeah, babe, and just drop right in, no big deal. And then
Yeah.
like 12 years later,
That's how it always goes.
yeah, but it's working, it's nice. I have to do some other work on the plumbing, and then I have to fix the drawer. So, yeah, keeps
Yeah.
going.
Always. Evergy will install a free surge protector on your outside outlet or main. It's this whole thing. They unplug the meter, put this big old surge protector thing back there, and then like you're insured for like $10,000 worth of damage.
I need to do battery backups, some UPSs.
Yes.
But at the very least, we get enough sun in our house. I should be having some panels on there.
I know. We looked into it. It's ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, up front.
Yeah.
And return on investment still, what, 5-10 years?
I don't, like for us, it was like half a century later, you might get a couple bucks. All right. Let's get the show on the road. Babe, are you unmuted, ready to go?
I think so. Can
All
you
right.
hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. We're good.
I'm kicking off the Podbean. All right. Good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, let's roll our intros. Oh, shit, I forgot to do the new outro with Dad. Man, this week went by.
This podcast contains adult themes and language. The views expressed here are our own opinions and experiences. We are not medical professionals.
In this podcast, we discuss our opinions about mental health, sobriety, addiction, and our pursuit of happiness and peace. This is Sober Mind.
Woo! Happy Saturday. My beautiful wife, Judith, out in the Zen room. My dear, dear, luscious, beautiful friend, Patrick, next to me.
Must be a happy Saturday then.
After, what was
That's
it?
a nice intro.
Yeah, I've never been luscious before, so
Sunday, I went for a run after the show last week, and I ran by this guy's house. I don't know, he was like in his mid-20s. He was sitting out in his chair. Mind you, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I envisioned him being a little bit hungover. He had his sunglasses on and just a pair of shorts, and his dog was out peeing in the yard. And I ran by and I yelled, "Sun's out, guns out." And he's like, "Yeah."
sun's out, guns out. Gotta love it.
Okay, today we are going to just do a recap of how everyone's doing, how everyone's feeling, what's going on in our lives, and then we're going to do some reactions to some alcohol commercials, and us three are going to share the reality of what happens during the alcohol commercials. As I was going through and picking them out, Patrick, if you have any, just let me know. I got a couple. I think they'll just stir some conversation. I'm gonna have to mute the commercials. They're pretty much all subtitled anyway. I realize there's a tons of copyright music in there. Yeah, so that won't fly. But anyway, that's what we'll be doing. Man, Judy and I have had a very interesting week. A lot of positive turn of events. Work is going good for me. It's been enlightening, humbling, and quite honestly, exciting. Fucking exhausting. My God, Patrick. So I can't share a lot of details, but I'm taking on a new position at work, and I have to go through basically retraining for a bunch of technology that I knew 13 years ago. It's been that long since I was in that role. And the instructor does a really good job of tempering towards us with adult learning disabilities.
Sure.
Like, you can only spoon feed me so much, and then it's like I'm not retaining anything anymore.
Right.
So, and then after like 2 o'clock, adult learning is gone. It's like I did give her some
real.
feedback. I'm like, if there is anything important that we need to discuss, let's do that at like first thing in the morning.
Yeah. You only get so much retention in.
Yeah. So, that's it. That's really it for me. I'm, as far as mental health wise goes, again, just been getting used to the new routine, and just been super tired at night. Come home, eat, go to bed. Been getting up at 4:30 because I gotta run Oswald and then head off to work. That's it in a nutshell. Today I'm gonna do some woodworking out in the shop. I got my crosscut sled. It's been glued together for the last week out there, so I'm gonna cut that up and get going and just really enjoy some stuff for me today.
Nice.
What are you doing? How's your week? What's going on? What's going on in Patrick land?
Like I said, power came back on after the last show. Zapped my power supply on my computer, but was over at my brother's during the day, so came back and was able to get that together. Sunday and Monday, I had like a major case of the bluzz. But I think it was just a summer cold running around because Wednesday my daughter started feeling ill and she ran a fever on Thursday, Friday.
Oh shit.
So
Is she feeling better?
she's better, definitely better,
Okay.
and moving around today. Yep, it was just kind of like one of those times, and did a bunch of housework yesterday. Like I was telling you, got a new sink in, but that was not of any choice of my own. You know, just kind of go with it. The faucet broke, so we had to repair that. So joys of home ownership, and
Isn't it fun?
it just begins a cascade of other items. Now the sink's that's in,
Yeah.
the drawer doesn't fit, and I have to custom repair the drawer, make a false front, and et cetera, et cetera. The lines, like the shutoff valve was all right, but it was an older house and there was a slow leak in it, so I gotta either inspect that to see if I can reseal that connection or if I have to do a complete replacement on it. So
Dang.
it just goes.
It's like
goes and
cleaning a
goes and
spot
goes.
on a floor. Once you clean that one spot, you realize actually how dirty the floor is. Now you got to clean the whole floor.
Yeah, don't come over my house then. So just tumbleweeds of animal fur will just occasionally just roll across the floor, and you'd be like, oh yeah,
Yeah, right.
okay.
So the beauty of me and Patrick's friendship is between us, we got a shit ton of tools. We always tell each other like, hey, remember, if you need a special tool, just call me or text me to see if I have it, and vice versa. Because we have some weird shit that you might not.
You'll only use once or twice in your lifetime.
Yeah, like I was telling you, it's a 5-ton hydraulic hand crimper. There's a huge warning sticker on like, do not. And
Don't stick your finger in there.
yeah, that's the first thing I did. I'm like, ooh, that's a lot of pressure. 'Cause
That's
you have
not
to-
a cigar cutter.
No, you have to do a release valve. Yeah, it's a big thing. Okay. Judith, my love, what's been going on with
Yeah.
you?
Not much. Just being the goddess of my garden. Lots of tomatoes.
Yeah, we're sending you home with some tomatoes.
All right.
Yes. Just enjoying the weather, enjoying summer, and that's about it. Nothing really major,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think.
Yesterday's weather was amazing.
Oh, it was lovely.
Patrick, I'm growing my hair out.
Are you
Yeah,
getting the flow going?
yeah. I'm gonna do. Do you know who Ron White is?
Yeah.
Yeah, sober Ron White.
So I haven't seen Sober Ron White.
Yeah.
Yes, he's
got white
sober.
hair and he just grew it all out. Yeah.
I think
The-
I think he looks really healthier now than he did before when he was drinking.
Yeah.
Even though he was younger, he looks much healthier now.
Okay. What else? And you want to just dive right into this, and we'll just start discussing them, the commercials.
Sure.
All right. Did you have any in particular that you want to throw up here? I got 4.
I realized after I started watching them, I'm like, all of these are absolutely absurd, and it's great.
Right.
I could pick any out of the barrel, and
Yeah.
that would be a good starting point.
What I realized was I was running through my memory of all of the lingo, the lyrics and stuff. The
Jingles,
yes, thank you. I was saying lingles.
earworms.
Yeah, that I remember from when I was a kid watching TV. And this is back in the 70s. Well, there's a beer that's not even, they don't make it anymore, called Rainier Beer. And I still have that in my head.
Rainier.
Beer. Yeah. And I think it was the Miller one. If you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller beer. Do you guys remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Vaguely.
I was just thinking about all that, and the frogs from Budweiser.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was thinking about how ingrained those get into your memory to where it's stuck there now. I mean, this is stuff I heard when I was a kid, and I still can retain it.
Yeah, mine's the Bud Ice Penguins.
Oh yeah.
The doobie doobie doo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I don't know if we could do another session or here, but I also went down a rabbit hole of looking at like printed stuff from like the 60s and 50s for alcohol.
Yeah.
And those are even more bizarre, you know, like, and then even go further back to like 20s and 1920s and 1910s,
Yeah.
where they have, you know, all the serums and stuff where they weren't afraid to put like the actual Coke
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the stuff.
Or
you know what I mean?
absinthe actually had,
Right.
you know,
Wormwood.
But
Yeah,
but they
wormwood.
also would address, be like, you know, need to escape reality? Try Dr. So-and-so's blah blah serum,
Yeah.
you know, and like it's like wow,
Snake oil.
Yeah, it wasn't even
Yeah.
thinly veiled there.
No. Crazy stuff. I was man, just a ton has changed, you know. I mean, there's doctors used to recommend smoking Camel unfiltered. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. How dumb are we? I'm listening to the Criminal podcast. It's one of my favorite with Phoebe Judge, I think her name is. Anyway, there was speaking about just going in the Wayback Machine. This female Air Force homosexual, she was a lesbian, joined the Air Force way back in 1950. Hey, Odie, good morning.
Oh, boy.
And it was so fucking conspiracy theory laden back then that they would send out like Air Force police, and so this was her whole thing is she was like monitored and watched because they found her at a sandwich shop with another girl. Just you know, normal just normal being gay stuff. And they would tie it all back to, you know, homosexuality is probably a starting point of communism as well.
Slippery
course.
slope. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so bizarre. I mean, what they did to Alan Turing was
Yeah.
absolutely reprehensible for
Yeah.
his contributions, you know.
Yeah.
Just
He's a good example. Anyway, so she got forced out, dishonorable discharge, and all kinds of others. Anyway, yeah, smoke Camel non-filtereds and
Right.
and gay people are communists. That's it. That's the name of the podcast for today.
and that's what, I mean, before we jump in, I'd like to point out that's like why nostalgia is a hell of a drug in itself, because people get like when you get nostalgic, you know, like there's people that think, well, there were better times back then. And what the reality of it is, you know, our brain is just playing the highlight reel. You know, those time periods may have had highlights for sure. I mean, the vast industrialization of post-war World War II America, you know, we went leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that was pre, you know, civil rights movements and stuff like that. So there's, I mean, there is a lot of other stuff going on that I'm not trying
Civil
to say
rights,
good or
women's
bad.
rights, yeah.
I'm not trying to describe good or bad. It's just that when we get nostalgic, we're just playing the highlight reels on that stuff. That time is gone and past. There's both in it, you know. So it's just interesting
Yeah.
to reflect
Yeah.
on that.
For sure. If I'm hearing you, you're saying that when we get nostalgic, we should also look at how far we've come with
When I get nostalgic, and it came learning to get sober, because when you would get an itch, you're like, I just want to get drunk. And I'm going to be honest here, and this may offend a few of the sober viewers. Because I didn't know how to cope, there were genuine times where I enjoyed the release. Like I had a lot of fun a lot of times.
oh shit, so did I.
But the
Yeah.
problem with it that came was also, you know, like puking later in the night, the anxiety that comes the next day, all the other like stuff. And your brain, though, when you get the itch, only puts those like good things front and center,
Oh yeah.
right? So it's like, hey, it's all this good stuff, and it's like, just ignore the fact that there was more bad that came with it, and remember the good stuff. That's what
just
I'm trying
ignore
to.
the following morning.
That's what I'm trying to say about nostalgia. That's we get wispy for moments that have passed because we talk about this. Our ego is hung up on something there that we have aligned with in our identity. Like I remember when I was a kid, this time was really good. So that time must be better than it is now for kids. Or, what I'm trying to say is like nostalgia is a drug in itself that we just have to be aware that the past both had good and bad, and we need to raise our awareness to be able to see wholly for that. And that just takes time and discipline as well. Right?
It does, for sure.
Yeah. I think it's nice to fall into that nostalgia and not have to worry about the realities of what was going on at that time period. You can just focus on the happy points.
Yeah, that's almost like escapism in itself.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. It also will blind you to other things that could happen, in our current time period. It's definitely one of those things that can be addictive, to just sink yourself in the past and past events and not live for now and be in the present.
Yeah. This is good. Let me segue into something I wanted to talk about. And babe, I was saving it for today, so it's no big deal. There's no crazy
You weren't hiding things from me, John?
No.
How dare you?
I never hide things from you.
No.
So I was at lunch. Let me gather my thoughts. Keep all the innocent folks out. I won't use any names. I was at lunch. I'm no longer in a management role, so that felt really good. It was strange because it was meet management lunch with a bunch of the new hires, and we were at this big table in the back of the cafeteria. And I realized, first and foremost, I didn't have to engage. This is the first time in years that I was like, oh, sweet, man, I was like, I had this deep release of breath, like, oh man, I can just sit here and be introverted. No one's going to be like trying to, I don't know, whatever, talk to me about or impress me, from a management perspective or whatever. So that felt really good because it's weird, selfishly. Like I just that's really it. I hope that makes sense. I didn't have to engage, and I just got to sit back and watch people and listen to other people talk. No one gave a shit about John, and it felt fucking nice.
You didn't have to put on a false persona.
Right. I didn't have to put any energy into being me.
You could just be you.
Yeah, but
Very nice.
so this was on Thursday, and they folks started talking about weekend plans. And one guy just straight up said, he's like, oh, my wife and I are going to go wine tasting, and our goal is to get smashed. Look.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not judging. That's not what this is about. We're alcoholics on this show. So I'm trying to, I'm sure everyone knows right now, none of us are goody two shoes and be like, damn you drinkers.
Far from it.
We're just the folks that can't drink. So it was very interesting to me to listen to people go around. 90% of them, it involved some form of drinking. Someone said, they're very young, of drinking age, and they said, they haven't drank a lot. They're like, I've gotten drunk, but I think I really want to get blackout drunk this week. And I was just like, what the fuck?
Why?
I couldn't be that
the next
old
morning.
man. I couldn't be that old man of like, because I'm literally, age of being a father and stuff. And I was just listening, and I'm, people enjoying their lives and talking about this stuff. But I was concerned that there was these end goals of like, everyone is like, I'm gonna get as fucking drunk as I can. I'm like,
I'm gonna get drunk.
This is not healthy at all. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna, I lay out the charcuterie table, and You know, I drink a bunch of Tank 7. I'm like,
Oof.
and all
That's
this
a heavy.
salami and cheese and all this fat. And I'm just like, my
like a
God.
brewery.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, that's just your triglycerides are gonna. I just wanted to go. Your triglycerides are gonna spike. It's just bad. Don't just get
Your
healthy.
liver's gonna kill you.
But I didn't even get near that. I was just sitting there, just listening and being grateful that I'm not into that anymore. It never came around full circle. I think we ran out of time, because if it came to me like, John, what do you like to drink? I was gonna say, just because I don't like to even tiptoe around it, I was just gonna say I'm an alcoholic, so I don't drink. But good for you guys for crushing through it.
There's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. I mean, think about if you were them at that age,
Yeah,
and you know, somebody older,
I was
twice your
there.
age, said, you know, like, that's not a healthy way to deal with, like, you know, obviously you're avoiding something.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to get blackout drunk, you know, that's you're really, I mean, that is the definition of short-circuiting your brain.
yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at that age, I would have said, "Oh, shut up! You don't know anything."
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna go do it anyway. Whatever. I'm
here
young.
for a
I can
good
do
time,
it.
not for a long time.
That's right.
Yeah.
YOLO, bro.
Yeah.
Someone's like, we're gonna be going to watch the Barbie movie, so we're gonna make pink martinis, and we're just like,
You know, some people can do that. Some people are Sarahs. They can have one pink martini, then go to the movies, and then go have dinner, and they're totally fine. And they're not, you know, that's okay for them. They can do that.
yeah,
Not us, but you know, hey,
Yeah.
more power to them.
yeah. Anyway, let me wrap it up just by saying that I was just sitting there eating my lunch, and I felt really good about myself. It wasn't I'm better than anybody. That's not what it's about, because half the people there are people that, you know, if you're going to do better than, well, no one's better than me, first of all. Let's just make the record clear. But, you know, they're folks that can go out and drink, and they're young, and they'll figure it all out on their own. If they end up developing a problem, then I hope they can acknowledge it and recognize it and move on. But to your point, it's always the playing it forward. That's in my internal dialogue, like the person that wanted to get, just like, I want to get blackout drunk. They just said it with so much like
Enthusiasm,
Yeah.
commitment.
Yeah, commitment. I was like, man,
I remember when I committed to those nights and
yep. I did it
come
so
wider. I did it.
Yep. I did it so
I think
much.
I actually
every
have a
time I would,
scar on my ribs from that.
yeah, every time I told myself I would not. I meant to tell you, Patrick, I think I told Judy about this, but there was so many times, again, this is a cliche of an alcoholic, but I'd be sitting like in this office or in the garage. It'd be like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, listening to some metal music or whatever, and I'd be decompressing. I'd be telling myself, and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna have one more beer. Okay, and it was like a funny joke with me, like, all right, one more this time for real. Next thing you know, it's like 3:30. Judy would come and get me sometimes. She would be frustrated, like, are you fucking coming to bed, or what are you doing? Like, oh, I'm gonna have one more, and man, I would just black out. I wouldn't remember half those times, and I'd wake up. The worst feeling that I had, I told Judy this a couple weeks ago, was in the summertime, like a nice day like today, and you're opening your eyes and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm just like, motherfucker. And I'm still not hungover, but still drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And then try to figure out a way like to pull myself together. And the only real way was to just continue drinking.
Yeah, you can't really enjoy the day that way. You just wasted half the day.
Well,
So it's like, oh well, crap. I might as well have a beer and just.
there's a reason why I call it stealing happiness from tomorrow. You know, when I made homemade cider, I definitely had a lot of spells like that where I'd just stay up and be like, one more, and it's like 3:30, and like if I'm being honest with myself, I know exactly what the feeling was when I was in that 10 o'clock to 3-4 in the morning. Exactly what I was thinking. I was hoping that tomorrow would never come. I thought I was trying to tell myself I'm holding on to the day because I'm in this moment. You're chasing that high.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to be like, I just want to enjoy this moment. I just wanted to enjoy the moment. The reality was, I didn't want tomorrow to come.
I didn't either. I just.
Yeah.
Is that our thing as alcoholics? Like, I don't. That's why I can't. That's why I could never have just one.
I mean, it's some people. It's just the way. And when I mean, I wish tomorrow wouldn't come. You know, not having the coping tools to deal with anything. I knew stuff was gonna arise. So deep down, it was just me telling myself, "You're not ready for tomorrow. You're getting blasted now. You don't have to do anything right now because you're just getting drunk. Keep on chasing that, and tomorrow won't come." And that's just the state of the mind that I was in at that point, right? Hoping that, like, just trying to grasp at something, not being fully aware of, my present. I was so worried about the future tripping, right? That became my present. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I'm right there with you.
All right. Man, that was an adventure in itself. Who's ready for some videos?
Yeah. Jesus.
Yes. Bring it on.
God damn, Patrick coming in hot with the depression stories. They were supposed to save those for
What?
me. I'm just kidding.
I think we all jumped into that barrel.
Wait till we get into the videos.
All right. Okay, so I apologize. I realized I was going through these to my audience. I have to mute these. There's copyrighted music in all of these, but we will talk through them anyway. All right, so here we go. Let me move Judy over. Okay, this one, I don't know why. We'll talk through it. This one really resonates / unresonates, whatever, you get what I'm saying. It's a Crown Royal commercial. It's titled "The Guy Who's Got It All," and the director is Spike Lee. Shame on you, Spike Lee. Because you guys will see, this is some weird. All right, let's just jump into it. People say wealth is about money and cars and things. We disagree.
Am I supposed to see it or no?
No, babe. Sorry.
I'm sure I can remember it.
Yeah. Patrick, when we would do these videos, would you see him? Oh, okay.
You'd have to send her the link.
Yeah. Okay, so, babe, you'll be my test audience here.
Okay.
The guy who's got it all. He's walking down the street with a
Crown Royal bag, the purple icon bag.
Yep. He's super happy.
Look,
meeting his friends. Just got it. He's got his shit together. That's really what they're
helping
here.
people on the street.
no,
Yeah.
If you're gonna stop it, let's go back.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. We can just keep talking through these.
All right, so we're scrolling back. Go back even more. So, first of all, it frames this as the guy who has it all, right?
Yep.
Like there's something else, something intangible. Keep on going. One more.
Back.
Back a little bit more. So he walks out of the store. Go ahead and play it immediately. So
Stops right
recognition.
there.
Smile. All right, keep going.
Yep. Handsome guy. Healthy.
Sure. The guy who's got it all. They frame it. And then the bag. All right. So stop. They say the guy who's got it all immediately flash to the bag.
Yep. The iconic Crown Royal bag.
What's all of it? The deconstruction is one of my favorite tools.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, I love it.
and so, all right, the guy who's got
You
it all.
won't. You
and they
won't. You
literally
won't have
show
it
you
all
the
unless
bag.
you have the bag. Yeah,
This
you won't
is
have it
all
all
of it.
unless you have it. Yeah.
Everything.
And then so to validate him, they don't show him consuming or being a part of that. What do they show here immediately?
He's
helping.
He's helpful. He's a very productive part of society. He's a necessity.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's excited because he's getting ready to go have some Crown Royal.
No,
So his joy is emanating so that he's, being friendly with his friends and he's helping people on the street. And
no, I don't think it's even joy about the Crown Royal. I think it's backwards, babe.
You think so?
The Crown Royal makes this person successful.
yes.
Right.
Yeah, he's just like, drinking that Crown Royal is just a byproduct of being fucking awesome.
Right.
Very true. Okay. I get it.
you can keep on rolling. So says hi, gets validated by everybody as he walks down the street.
Pats on the back, you know, just like people are pining to be this guy. He's like, got my shit together, run into everyone else. Look, they're like, oh my God, what a great guy. Laughing, perfect framing of it. His mom, Mildred, yes, his real mom. She goes in, really nice house. In New York, this has got to be like a $6 million property for sure. Look, I made your favorite meals, I baked stuff. Opens up the Crown Royal. Magically, they pour just, it's not on the rocks, it's neat. So, good way to make your mom day drink there. So it's middle of the day, I guess. They just drank some Crown Royal. Let's talk about the reality of that. After that, I'm not fucking leaving the house, and you and I would have dusted that bottle of Crown Royal, and the day is gone.
Right.
So goes to a restaurant.
Does
Now it's
the boyfriend thing.
Yep. Now it's nighttime. He's still very lucid and sober. Wonder how much is left in the Crown Royal.
I don't think they
Pouring
show
more?
that, do they?
No. With all of his friends, they're drinking. Live generously, and life will treat you royally. So, obviously, what does this play on? It's one of my favorite. Okay, one of my favorite beer commercials is any Coors commercial with Sam Elliott, because that voice resonates with me, and it brings up a lot of nostalgia. It makes, when I was drinking Coors, remember it was a special treat, babe, when we'd go to one of our liquor stores and be like, oh, we'd get a shit ton of beer all the time, but I'm like, I'm gonna get myself a 6-pack of Coors too.
Yeah.
Because I think it was a validation point that was my dad's favorite beer, and him and I never had a relationship, and I think that was my way of feeling close to him too.
I think we toasted your dad at a couple times.
Only when we were drinking the Coors.
Only when we're drinking
It
Coors,
was his
yeah.
favorite beer, and then Sam Elliott's voice and the way he makes you feel too, like drinking Coors. It's just something a good man does, but you can still have some flaws. But as long as you're working hard and paying your bills and contributing to society, you're okay. You're allowed. And that was my thing too when I was drinking. I think I used to validate a lot of, I'm providing healthcare for myself and my wife. The bills are always paid. We have a roof over our head. I'm paying my taxes. I'm allowed to I can get fucked up. This is my reward.
Yep. So you come up to a great point of marketing in general, and I'll lay bare why I like deconstructing these the most, because this is how pervasive ego is. All these go after identity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for example, this Crown Royal one, the guy who has it all.
Yep.
Right. There's a bunch of play in there for sure, but active in the community, respected, plays traditional roles very well, supporting of his, mom.
Oh, and his mother's proud of him.
Is proud of him, right? And he so, if you identify with a lot of the images that were shown, you're like, I understand all these. This is part of me. I should be drinking Crown Royal, Mm-hmm. Or you can flip it, you can inverse it, and you say, like, because I drink Crown Royal, that means I have that stuff too.
Right.
You see, that's where it gets like kind of really like, hey man, this is a high end drink. This is a nice drink. I deserve this because of all these other things too.
Yeah.
Right. And it just feeds into the identity.
For sure.
Like Michael Singer said, why do we choose what we choose is because you care about the outcomes, right?
Care about what other people think, too.
If you're like, my object is not to get drunk, right? If I want to do that, I'll just take a bar mat shot and be good with it. But my identity is I'm a good son. I'm active in the community. I do X, Y, and Z. I need to be drinking Crown Royal.
Yeah.
And because I drink Crown Royal, that validates all the other things that,
Yeah.
I identify with.
All the shitty things that I've been doing to myself and or others, they're not a thing as long as I'm. And if you're thinking, oh my God, you guys are reading into this way too much. No, you are wrong. I feel I'm 100% right on these. That's why these commercials, they're earworms. They get into your head, especially when it comes to liquor. I would wake up with hangovers, and sometimes I would see alcohol commercials and I would feel a little bit better about myself. Like everyone's fucking getting drunk anyway. I'm not the only one that's being a bad
I'm not the
person
only
here.
one.
Yeah.
In fact, going back, then it would just keep looping. Like, oh my God! Then to help my anxiety, if I saw a Coors commercial with Sam Elliott patting me on the back, telling me it's
Right.
okay, I'd be like, oh man, yeah. Judy and I would pack it up, go to a Mexican restaurant, sit at the bar, and get fucking hammered again.
So another inverse of this is because it's so pervasive and it sets these themes. I show up to mom's house without the Crown Royal bottle. I'm a piece of shit, and I
I'm not going to be the
I
pinnacle
know that's
son.
an extreme, but think about it. I have shown up, at the bar at times, and if I didn't drink, because I was either too hungover or just didn't feel like, on the rare occasion that I didn't, it was almost an insult to some of my friends not to be part of that, right?
For sure. Yeah. Oh, I would not like it when Judy, excuse me, when, especially on heavy hangover days, I would be getting back into it and Judy would be drinking water. And she's like, I drank way too much last night. And I would genuinely take offense to it. I know, again, that's another cliche, but I'd be like, oh, are you sure? 2-3 hours later, I'd always pester her, like, you want a beer? Just one?
Yep.
Like, it's not.
Come on.
And I can't, but I know, I can't believe that I did that. I knew 100% what I was doing at the time too, but it was also I was kind of offended. That's why then I even felt better. Like I would tell her, like, don't you want some pot?
Oh yeah, I was smoking pot that whole day.
So it's again stuff that we identify with. I'm drinking because this is how I'm validating myself now. I can't deal with X, Y, and Z, so I need to drink. Oh, you're not doing it? Oh, why don't you see me? Why don't you see what I'm doing? How come you're not on the same page as me?
Yeah. Fucking pathetic. Okay, here's another one. Yeah, Patrick, I like that you like deconstructing it. So I think here's the end. This guy's generous and life is going to treat him well. All right, Jose Cuervo.
So does this mean that if he doesn't drink the Crown Royal, that his life is going to be shit?
I mean, that's kind of, remember when I talk about when you automatically frame something in a position, like you automatically coming up with bias, like if I were to say we need to talk about what's wrong with us, that like implies that we're broken to begin with, right? Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to say, and to your point, Judy, like if I'm not living generously, am I not being treated royally, right?
Or if I don't drink the Crown Royal, am I not going to be able to achieve all of those other qualities?
Yep. Exactly.
I'm not that person because I'm not drinking Crown Royal. It doesn't mean I'm not an honorable person. I don't love my mother. I don't help around in the community. It's because I don't drink Crown Royal that I can't get to that.
Yeah. I mean, that's
state.
when how our ego works, by short circuiting all that, like tying identity with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We want to get to a known outcome. I want to be loved and validated. Well, I don't have the tools to sit there and emotionally deal with mom's baggage and other stuff, but I sure as fuck can bring her a Crown Royal bottle.
Yeah.
I'm a good son.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Contributing to society. Okay, this one, it's a Jose Cuervo commercial, so tequila. And it's only 15 seconds, but there's a lot to deconstruct in this. Here, babe, what I'll do is I'll send you this in Discord really quick, so you can watch along. But So real quick before we get into tequila, Patrick, I don't know if I ever told you this. Judy knows. I've been in jail 3 times in my life. All 3 times, tequila was involved. I don't know if it's something to do with the blood sugar or the way it reacts or the way how hard it goes at me, you know. But as soon as I start to drink tequila, I try to match some person like shot for shot, and you talk about the blackout coming on super quick. Okay, so babe, I pinged that to you. The Discord should have popped up, and you can just watch it, put it on mute. So we'll get into it. You ready? Ready, Judith?
Yep.
Okay. So important to call out. It's 15 seconds. The first thing it shows, I'm just gonna say it, is Mexican workers working to harvest the agave. It doesn't show them doing it really in full swing, but except coming up, it shows a Jose Cuervo. There's an agave farmer.
Iconic sunsets.
Iconic
End of
sunsets.
workday.
Clean, by the way, clean, picturesque.
Right.
Hardworking, not the reality of an agave farmer, which is what I've seen and heard is a fucking atrocious job. Hot, dangerous, the way they're using those agave chopper things.
Yeah.
So it shows like the building of the Tequila Pueblo area. Shows a quick shot of the old school cowboy era family history of probably Jose Cuervo and his significant other. Then it cuts to modern day. It's true. It's 4 Mexican gentlemen in like an evening area, confident, satiated, and happy with life.
Yep.
Cut back to the agave farmer, satisfied and proud, looking over his crop, I'm assuming.
Yep. So if you step back, you don't have to step
Yeah.
back, but the words said, "We make tequila."
Right.
And I love this technique. This is a wonderful production technique. So watch this. We make tequila. We make fades away. Tequila remains. And then tequila makes us.
Right. Yep. So
So what is at the center of that?
tequila.
And that is like, it is literally saying like, this is our identity. This is our lineage. This is our heritage. This is what the commercial's aligning to, right?
Oh,
If you are somebody who aligns with, heritage or needs to be validated from, like those that came before us. Ta-da!
holy shit, this is going to sound stupid. I just realized this is 100% marketed towards the Mexican American community.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we make tequila, tequila makes us. And it just now it shows back that there's those fucking agave choppers they got. Then cut to the end, tequila makes us still showed up. Nice sunset.
Nicely out of a shot glass, but if you're in a dusty field, if you're taking tequila at the end of the day, you think you're doing it. You're like,
No, it's from the
"Gentlemen,
bottle.
This is a fine occasion for the nice glasses,
Yeah.
right?" No, you're just gripping it and ripping it.
Boom. Traditional Jose Cuervo, 100% agave. Yeah, and then it shows, again, just a farmer, silhouetted with some nice bouquet agave plant in front of, and the sunset, just successful, happy, content with life.
And you're right. The reality of that is hot, sweaty, dangerous work.
Yeah.
Yep. Another one on identity.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's see what else you got.
Okay, this is Judy was a big fan of this one because we saw this. There's a little bit of history here, and I'm just gonna call it out. So this is a Smirnoff vodka commercial. It is vodka for the people, and the main actress in this is Kaylee Cuoco. You may know her from Big Bang.
Who's a really good actress.
Yeah, we're a huge fan of hers. However, during the airing of these commercials, she was also making she was
Flight
starring
attendant.
in the flight attendant show, to where she is an admitted alcoholic and her go-to drink is Smirnoff vodka. Now, come on, man. Now,
That was a little bit awkward to watch.
It's too on the nose too, and you're like, I just want to go, Kaylee, what the? So, you know, you're a beautiful young woman who is idolized by young women. So in one aspect, very good show, flight attendant series.
Yeah, very good.
But she knows she's got a drinking problem, and her friends call it out, and she's always sneaking little Smirnoff bottles on the plane, and she's always like, I gotta quit. I'm an alcoholic. She's well aware of it. But then to turn around, now switch to real world, and for someone to actually go, I'm actually gonna do a Smirnoff commercial. Come on, that from an you have to have some. Sorry, I'm getting. I don't. Oh my God, it is fucking disgusting, right? You have to have some moral connection to this and go, Smirnoff. You realize I play an alcoholic who has an issue with Smirnoff. They'll be like, oh, okay, 2 million more. How about that? Be like,
bad news is good news, right?
Right.
Well, what was really odd was that during the flight attendant. Now, was that on HBO or what?
I can't remember. I think it was Hulu. But.
Okay, so during the flight attendant, shortly after that, after we had just watched an episode, that commercial comes on.
Yeah.
So it was that prevalent. It was that right in our face. Just like, okay, that's really awkward. That's just not a good thing. That's not good.
I know I'm sounding completely like old man John here, but the hypocrisy of that is a bit much. Thoughts, Patrick?
Yeah, there's a common. I'm glad you brought up the Smirnoff, because there's another series with one of the actresses from Community and Adam, what's his name, from Parks and Rec. They did a couple together. And the comedy ones are often darker for me when I look at them, because out of them comes a common theme of drink responsibly.
Oh yeah, all the time. Just got to throw that in there.
So again, phrasing, if you drink responsibly, you'll have a good, safe time. So if you're not having a good, safe time, you're not drinking responsibly, or you're broken, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's this death liquid, got to do it safely. And of course, what's going to ultimately happen at some point? You're going to get blackout drunk, or, it becomes an issue, or even I'm going to even say this, Annie Grace talks about this in The Naked Mind. Even if you're casual and it is not impairing a lot of stuff on the long enough duration, there will be a case where you might forget something, or it's going to impact your health later down the road. You're going to have cumulative effects. The point is, like, drink responsibly until something happens, and something will happen. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
And they're trying
guaranteed.
to absolve themselves as like, well, we told you to drink responsibly, but you didn't.
Right.
So that's all on you.
That's all on you.
Yeah. It's almost as if like we as an alcohol company, we support people that can drink in moderation. We don't support alcoholics, who's our biggest customer base.
Right.
Yeah.
We told you to drink responsibly. All right, we're gonna kick it off. We'll do a lot of, by all means, 30 seconds, but let's deconstruct, Patrick. I like where you're going with this stuff. Okay, so
I also had another comment regarding the vodka commercial.
Okay.
It just seemed like that, vodka always brings, or that drink or whatever it is, it always brings a party.
Oh yeah.
Not necessarily when you're, alone by yourself with a full bottle of vodka in your house and just, pounding it. It may be a party at the time, but oh boy, the next day after that party.
That's another good point, babe, is that none of these are around wallowing in self-pity and John sitting in his garage crushing a fucking 30-pack.
Yeah, they sell
Yeah,
confidence.
yeah.
They sell the identity that you want to align with, right? There is no sitting out in the half broken lawn chair getting like, the farmer's tan on the tank top,
Yeah.
while you're, got like your empties rolling around at your feet or anything like that.
Yeah.
There ain't none of that.
Showing your recycle bin fucking overflowing with cans, and then while
Yeah.
I'm sitting there in the garage drinking an arrogant bastard looking at my fucking blood test from my annual physical, wondering why my triglycerides are off the charts.
I want to see one of the beer companies put the whoever the Bills tailgate guy. The table guy.
Yeah.
Like he just jumping off the cars, crushing it and destroying himself.
Yep.
It's like, how come they're not playing that one, right?
Yep. Going to the ER with a fucking fracture and bones popping out. Okay,
Yeah.
so this one starts out Kaylee Cuoco in a really bright, super clean kitchen. Got some pre-cut limes.
So there's some mise en scène here, which I don't want to get too technical, but I love production because, like our brain, when we automatically think from a certain position, we're automatically framing and building the world around us as we are trying to ingest the information. Immediately in this, front and center in focus is the bottle,
Oh yeah.
right? In red, Kaylee's identified not yet by face, but stark silhouette in red in a completely white and clean kitchen. So you're immediately focused in and zeroing, tying those two items together. Smirnoff isolated by the shot, Kaylee isolated by her color coordination within her entire scene here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then as we get into it more, what the subconscious, especially for women looking at this, because I pick up on it as well, is that it's clean, beautiful, and healthy, vibrant fertility.
Right. Yeah, they got the limes there, out. Go ahead. They have the jigger out showing that she's being responsible.
Yep. Happy, and immediately, that took a couple takes. It's like, Kaylee, we need to exude confidence.
Uncorked it and immediately smiled. How many
And
times?
did the eyebrow, like, hey, I'm the shit.
I'm here. How many times have you uncorked it and been like, I just remember like uncorking Jaeger, when you get to the Jaeger part of a party and you're just like, all right, time for the Jaeger. You uncork it and you're still just like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Like I want to see that face get plastered on a commercial.
Yeah. Just again, cliche, but just show someone fucking honk projectile. Fuck. I mean, I threw up so hard sometimes I'd be popping blood vessels
Yep.
in my eyes.
Yeah. I had 3 incidents like that.
Just drink more. All right, pour, clean, lime, always clean. This is cleanly lit. Confident, happy, bubbly. Yeah, not a care in the world, sexy. Just grip hand and rin. Yep. Party, fun time, coordination, success, and happiness.
Literally holding it up.
I will be the party girl if I show up with vodka.
Yeah.
Boom, that's a good
oh
one.
yeah. Please drink responsibly. Smirnoff, just happiness, confidence, youth, vitality. Not a care in the world. Good dancers.
Till the next day.
Yeah. That's just a good commercial. Good morning, Don, by the way. Sorry you slept in. Okay. This is a short one, 15 seconds. Then we'll wrap it up. We'll talk a little bit more. But Bacardi, move like it's summer. Again, man, when it comes to Bacardi, listen, everybody. I could tell stories about some 151 incidents where I almost lit my house on fire when I was in the Army. The house that we were renting. Anyway, bad news. Bacardi and rum in general doesn't agree with me either. I think it's the sugar contents, the way it goes. Same thing with tequila.
Remember those shots of Kraken we used to take when we were watching
God, that was
Mark's house?
Yeah, that was good rum though. All right,
That was good rum, but oh my god.
What I noticed
So
about this
bad.
is everything is super colorful and cheery. Bacardi, so they're drinking over, popping open the
Mojito.
the mojitos in a can, real rum cocktails. As soon as you start drinking, it blows away your dingy work clothes, and you boom, pop into colorful liveliness.
So this, all right, keep going because like there's a satire, and it's probably not appropriate these days, but it's still burned into my memory of like how absurd these were. Is the Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, Schmitz Gay,
Yeah.
the Budweiser,
Yeah.
you know, where it was the old Budweiser where they're sitting by the nasty pool and they pop the beer, and then all of a sudden the bikini girls hop out, and the SNL version
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like a bunch of like male models,
Yeah.
you know, do it. But it just it is this absurdity. You literally pop the can and the party appears.
Yeah,
right.
Your
Yeah.
dingy clothes and sadness blow off, and it's just relaxation and happiness.
Mm-hmm.
See the color changing. Life is good.
Yeah, not only, you know, can this do it for you, but we have multiple options for you
Yep.
to align with, you know.
Yep. Did you have any that you want that resonate with you? You want me to pull up, or are we good?
There's a lot. Let's do a beer commercial. I feel so confident in being able to deconstruct these. Like, if you just Google beer commercial, like I can show you
Okay,
how absurd any of these are.
I have one. The walking down the beach with one bottle of Corona.
Yeah, I don't. Okay,
One bottle. You know, if you're going to go to the beach with Corona, I mean, besides it's a nasty beer, but if you're going to go to the beach with a beer at all, it's not going to be just one bottle.
So,
oh yeah, here it is.
I also want to say before we go that anybody who takes glass to a sand beach area or pool,
yeah,
is an asshole.
yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, that is a cardinal sin. I'm sorry. I had
Yeah,
my
I
foot
agree.
sliced open doing the rivers.
I did it in a river too.
That I just forget the elk. You know, some of the party rivers down here
Yeah.
that we got canoeing and everything. Yeah, like it is just so infuriating to me.
Mhm.
Anyway,
When I was a kid, I jumped off a bridge at a swimming hole, open beer bottle through the bottom of my foot. I forgot about that. Okay, Corona Extra. Also, not long commercials, just enough to get into your psyche. Getting
taking
off
off
work.
the jacket,
Come on.
removing the business attire to prepare for the party.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, come on, Bob. Drink one. Let's go.
Is this the one bottle that she was talking about?
I don't know. I don't know where that one is, but it's the Corona Extra. Corona gets its lime again. So going to the pool, squeeze a lime into the bottle. Next thing you know, you're at the club. Millionaire's Infinity Pool. Yeah, so it's all about putting the lime in the Corona.
Yeah, this is those ones are funny because they're tying a distinct behavior. This is like this would be the same as honoring a ritual around, like, you know, if you cleaned your crack pipe in
Yeah.
a certain way, right? You
Yeah.
cleaned it, or, you know, prep it, or you got to lay your foil out for your choice of whatever.
Yeah.
You
Sorry,
clean your
Corona.
bong.
Pop it. I am validated now. I am a good sir
Yeah.
because I did the lime like I should.
Yep. Yeah. These things happen. It's how everyone gets together and establishes their societal whatever it is. But
Norms.
yeah.
It's a good tool too. Yeah, like I don't know how else to say it, but after I cut the cord, for me, I don't watch any over the air stuff, and I really hate. I try to do a lot of my own videos and stuff. What I'm trying to say is, like, anything with commercials, and I hate how pervasive like YouTube and Hulu have gotten with it, but like realizing how intoxicating nostalgia can be, because it's just playing the highlight reel. If you raise your awareness and can sit and see some of the absurdity of how these commercials are trying to appeal to your ego, they are so abrasive. I mean, like, it is just persistent. Like, it's putting it out there. Like, it's just looking past the sale. It's like, you know, if you want to be a good person, then you're going to choose our product. implying that I'm a piece of shit to begin with and that I need to be validated through their product, right? And you say that
Yeah.
over and over and you're like, well, that's a little extreme. But if that's the information that you're consuming on the regular basis, what do you think your subconscious is writing in? You know, when you go to the store or whatever, there's going to be a reason why you reach for a specific product, why you get certain feelings or rise. People know this. I mean, I got to production support sit in on a Coca-Cola all sales meeting, and the amount of scientific analysis that they have around the distance for you to reach at a certain product at the end of the checkout line and where an item sits on the shelf, they spend millions of dollars a year based on these types of things. So we like to think that we're so in control. I wouldn't be influenced by that. That is a lie. You know, we surround ourselves with the world that we create. The problem is other people are creating it and presenting items that we're taking cues from
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
all the time.
Yep, you nailed it, Patrick. It's 100% around money. Obviously, that's why it all exists. But yeah, I love to get into the marketing stuff too. Just walking through stores and seeing how things are laid out. Someone once made a comment. They're like, "Yeah, that's why Costco doesn't really do that to you. That's why none of their aisles are labeled, because you go in and get what you want." Like, no, that's 100% why they do it, because you don't know where anything fucking is.
Yep.
Yeah. They move everything a lot.
Yeah, they take a $2 loss on their rotisserie chicken. That's why it's all the way in the back, because good luck walking back there.
Yeah, they know it's the experience. It's the tour through the store.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to buy a 55-gallon drum of Kool-Aid anywhere else. So, you know, might as well.
Yeah, and you have to go through all the way through the store and look at everything else just to pick up that rotisserie chicken, and then go back through the store and look at everything else just to get up front. You're not going to go in there and just get that chicken. There's going to be at least one or two other items that you're going to get while you're doing that. I mean, I can't leave Costco without at least dropping $150, $200.
So think about how pervasive the alcohol is in our culture in this. And I think this is a good example. I'm glad that we did the commercials, because some of the feelings and items that they underwrite and present and just like put out into our world, it's like, you know, there's a reason why alcohol stores were allowed to still sell during the pandemic. Right? Like,
Oh yeah.
there are deeper threads to pull with it, and then to me the absurdity of the commercials are just kind of the start of it, you know.
Yeah. And then they started to adjust the commercials to reflect the pandemic.
Right. I mean, I have to give them like so ultimately the dollar rules all, right? And I'm gonna take a step back on this, you know, because for others, you know, that look for alcohol for validation, there's others that look for, I'm not a valid person unless I make a lot of money, right? That is almost written into our society as a capitalist society.
Oh, 100%.
If you are not providing or if you're not being productive and earning, then you're obviously working a shit job and you're not a valuable enough person to be paid what you're worth.
Oh, of course.
What I'm trying to say is the people that apply themselves to this, like the amount of money involved in the marketing around alcohol is obscene, and they are masters of their craft putting these together. Right?
Master manipulators, yeah.
Well, you know, they're just people too. They want to be validated at the end of the day. I mean, how cool would it have been to be like, yeah, I did the Bud Light commercial that did what's that? You know, like when you hit the zenith of like, you know, like pop culture or whatever, you know, like, you know, that's probably very validating for that marketing person. But at the same time, you know, there has to be for me, if I were to do that, there would be like a cause of realizing like I am, you know, that's the movie God of War. At some point, like, you know, the guy and Nick Cage's character finally got caught up in the morality of like being a death dealer, right? And this is also in line with
Warlord.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is also in line with, you know, Buddhism, right? Why, you know, you don't some of the items that if you're partaking in actions that contribute to these types of behaviors, you can say all day long that I earn lots of money. I'm a very good marketer. I put together, like, I'm very good at my job. I can, I did all these Bud Light commercials. At the end of the day, you're peddling a carcinogen, right? And a piece of addiction. I mean, that's fine.
There's still that sense of manipulation, because you're manipulating through the commercial, through the advertisement, other people to consume your product.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be curious, like, to get Odie's take on this. Sorry, I got super distracted too. Hazardous 1218. So a new person that we have not seen on here. Welcome to the channel. Says, you all have a bright future as marketing consultants. Spin-off channel.
Right.
But
I want to do the satire one. The alcohol one. You wake up in the morning and you're just like, guy rolls over and just goes,
yeah,
and then, like, immediately just like takes another shot. It's like, our drink is for for the puke and rally people, only for the hardcore drinkers.
yeah.
No, you gotta do the one with the woman who wakes up and silently creeps out of the bed, grabs her clothes,
walk
and
of shame.
sneaks
Yeah, or
out of the room.
get even deeper, like, showing me just rolling over and really crying, gently sobbing with depression and anxiety, and just
Sorry, I
starting
shouldn't be laughing.
getting no. But could you imagine the shot from the camera angle? Be like,
I need a director in on this. He's like, no, I need a tighter shot right here. So I need this to be dollied in. I'm gonna focus in.
Yeah.
So John, give me your best tears, right?
fuck, I got to quit drinking, man.
Right?
That was really
Oh,
me.
shit.
Like, when am I gotta quit? But I think, so I know, I'm assuming that a lot of these things too, talking about ego, everything that we've been talking about today are custom tailored towards the society in which we are viewing them in, obviously.
Yep.
So America has got a huge fabric of cultures that they custom tailor to all the time. And what Judy and I have started noticing is this Zardian's diabetes medication. It is, I'm starting to get
it's Jardians.
Jardians. I'm starting to get fucking disgusted at what we're doing, Americans, because it's just, take this in the spirit for what is intended. It's an overweight woman wearing a dress, and she's with a bunch of people, and they're doing a dance routine.
They're dancing and
they're
singing,
smiling, and they're laughing. And what you're really looking at is, it's okay to be a diabetic. There's a fucking pill for it. Just continue your lifestyle. You don't need to change who you are. Just take this pill.
You don't need to exercise or eat right. You can just take the pill and it'll be fine.
You're good. You're an overweight American. That's how you're supposed to be. Just take the pill and move on. Don't get healthy.
No, don't get me started on the fast food stuff. The McDonald's.
Oh, God.
Oh man.
I know. Okay. The dogs are coming in. Letting us know.
It's that time.
This was fun. I want to do some. I would like let's talk later on, and we'll maybe we can deconstruct posters like you were talking about.
Yeah,
just
some
overall.
of the I'd like to dig
Static
up some
ads.
of the static ads are good, and then even some of the waybacks.
Yeah.
If you ever want to see like some good propaganda at its best, 50s, 60s smoking printed ads.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like the amount of misogyny and sexualization in those is absolutely insane. Like, looking back on it, it's, to me, I obviously it's not wholly funny, but to me it's hilarious because it's like so completely like askew and out of touch, and it's absurd. But at the same time, like, it's scary, the fact that, like, when I talk about the science of targeting these, when you want to make money as a marketer, we talk about things that we identified with here, and this speaks to demographics, and this is how powerful this is. I know you're a person that aligns with this item, and this item. Odds are, with our algorithms now, we can say, like, there's a 90% likelihood that he'll align with these 5 other items too. And this is what Google and Amazon do to help serve up other items. So what I'm trying to say is, like, they target large demographics, not because of, it's either easier. They want the biggest payday. They want to be fucking efficient as possible. If I spend $5 million on this, I want to be able to reach the maximum amount of people and have the largest amount of impact. What I'm trying to say is a lot of those ads, even as absurd as they are, you have to realize that there was a decision at some point that this is the best tool to target a large amount of demographic that we're going after.
For sure.
So it wasn't an accident. There was a direct cause. Even as silly and absurd and asinine as these are, that means there's a common theme that people are identifying with in here, and that I think those deserve to be looked at, regardless of, like I said, how when we look back at the ads and we could see how absurd they are, like I said about the 20s and 10s, about, it's this thing has all natural Coke in it, and they used to advertise that. Same with 50s and 60s on cigarette ads. I guarantee you, looking back in the future, if they look back at ads for our drugs of choices, I will guarantee you in the future you will see the same absurdity that we do looking back at those further things.
100%.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah. We could get into car commercials too. Talk about how that gets to your psyche.
Man, that's Futurama. Thunder Cougar Falconbird. What I gotta do to get you in this? I gotta challenge your manhood, right? You ain't a man unless you driving this car. Oh my goodness,
Pussy.
Ego is so powerful.
Yep. Oh,
and as soon as it's challenged, it will do everything to defend itself.
Yep.
Including buying a bunch of garbage.
I used to listen to a podcast that had a person that analyzed commercials, and they would just break it all down. It's fascinating. They talk about commercials that do it really well and get you going, like shit that gets into you. Like you could do the State Farm jingle and in the middle of a store, and everyone would know what that is. All dun 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 dun. Just these little things there. And so we get you. All right, this has been a fun episode. This is taking a step to the side of what we usually do, but I thought this was just a hoot. So I've had a fantastic week. Patrick, this is amazing. Judy and I, we did have a discussion about the chemistry about having you come over, because first and foremost it was Judy's seat, and I said, are you sure you're good with this? She's like 100%. And I think that I told Judy, and if viewers want to give us some feedback, that when she's out in the Zen room too, her interaction is a little bit different. It's almost a little bit more, so it's good. It's all very organic. I like this.
We can always change it up too.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. This is how it's all locked in. Anyway, we'll continue this on. I really like having you come over, especially since you're just down the road. It's pretty handy. Okay. All right, everyone. I completely butchered my promise. Dad, this is your fault. I told you yesterday we need to do the outro with the 988. So been getting a lot of requests for you to have more of your voice in the show. So we're going to do it. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Thank you so much. Remember, if you or a loved one out there is struggling with suicidal thoughts or ideation, make sure you call the 988 Suicide Crisis Hotline. 988. That's all you need to dial. There's someone out there that can talk to you and get you pointed in the right direction to help you take a look at your mental health and see what's going on. Also, if you or a loved one is struggling with alcohol or drug use or abuse and all of that good stuff, contact Al-Anon. Get on the website, give them a call. There's all kinds of virtual sessions and meetings available. I'm going to do this script, and Dad's going to read it super eloquently, so it'll roll off of Dad's chops very nicely. But be kind to yourselves.
Be kind to yourselves. Be patient with yourself.
Be very patient. I've been as I'm turning the corner again, I'm completely off of medication, completely off of caffeine. Judy and I are approaching 2 years sobriety. My mental health is the best that I can. It's always getting better. I'm always working on it. I'm always conscious of where I'm at. I got a little snappy with Judy last night. I got a little snappy this morning on accident, just real quick.
But you apologized.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Anyway, I never be patient with yourself, especially those folks that are getting into sobriety and then the mental health stuff health stuff rears its ugly head because it caught me off guard. We've talked about it before, but listen, y'all, you're just gonna have to work through it, and it's a process, and you'll be surprised and or disappointed like I was to see what has crawled out of the gutters and you're facing every day. And
this tall shoot pass.
Yeah.
You get to live all the emotions, both good and bad.
Yep.
You know? So
But we as humans can do it.
Yep.
I mean, we're,
Yep.
we're very resilient creatures.
Very resilient. Okay. Let me roll Judy's outro. Wrong button. Wrong button. Here we go.
Thanks for listening. Check out the Sobermind live stream at youtube.com/@Sobermind.
All right, everybody. Don, you two have a great weekend. Thanks for the new folks that joined the chat today. That was fantastic. We got a bunch of subscribers. We're up to 321.
Woo, woo.
Yeah. So maybe if you're watching this in a couple years in the future, you'd be like, remember, that super famous show Sober Mind? They had like only 300 subscribers at one time. Hey, we're out here doing it for us and inviting people to join along. So, all right.
Yep.
We'll see you guys next weekend. Bye.